Well, the Whitby Fury had a chance to draw even with Coburg in the brutally tough East Division last weekend. If, that is, they could nab 2 points against a rapidly improving Pickering squad. Highlights coming right up. This is the OJ Today. Welcome, everybody. We are jam-packed with all kinds of OJ stuff for you today. Updates from the World Junior A Challenge, a feature story on Newmarket Hurricanes team captain Todd, plus our team profile story this week is on one of the hottest teams in the league, the Burlington Cougars. All that coming up in a bit, but first, the Bar Down game highlights. And as mentioned, in the ridiculously competitive East Division, if you lose one game, the results can be traumatic. Now, Whitby suffered a shocking setback against North York on Friday, which made a win in Sunday's encounter with Pickering that much more of a necessity if they hoped to keep pace with first place Trenton. OJ Highlights now brought to you by Bar Down, official clothing supplier to the OJHL. You know, Pickering has gotten out to some quick leads this year. The problem has been holding them. 7:19 into the first, Thomas Hernandez chips it in out front, and the Panthers jump ahead 1-0. Spyros Koskanos on his toes early, stretching to deny Patrick DeMaio there. No stopping this, though. Fury on the PP. Ryan Taylor rips it past him, and Whitby knots things up at 1 apiece. Just over a minute later, though, Pickering with the man advantage. Stephen Elliott tattoos the point shot. 2-1. Panthers second frame. Whitby back on the PP. Justin Brand banks home the rebound. And again, it's all tied up. Back and forth we go. Anthony Stavro keeping his stick on the ice, tipping it home to give Pickering the 1-goal advantage. And Koskanos was doing his part at the other end, once again robbing the Fury with the sweet stop. Third period, the Koskanos show continued, robbing former teammate Tiger McDonald of a sure goal right there. But finally, the dam breaks at the 14-12 mark. Ryan Taylor snapping home his second of the game. And then he gets the hat trick and the game winner with just 3 seconds left. Elation for Whitby, heartbreak for the Cats. 4-3 your final as the Fury pull it out in the dying seconds. That is deflating stuff for Pickering, who were so close to pulling off a big upset. Whitby, as mentioned, pick up 2 crucial points in the brutal East Division. Well, Coburg's problem is the same as Whitby's this season, and that would be geography. How tough is the East Division? Well, the 5 teams have a combined record of 95 wins against just 41 regulation time losses. Heck, Wellington and Kingston are currently tied for last place in the division, and both have records well over the 500 level. Now, while Coburg does have designs on overtaking Trenton for top spot in the East, they were in danger of losing ground if they couldn't handle Stovall last Saturday. Stovall coming off an 18-2 win over Milton the night before. Yes, that's right, 18-2. 6:57 in, they hit the board first. Jackson Savory shorthanded. 1-0 Spirit. They would make it 2. Connor Ryder parks himself out front, tips it home. And Stovall looking good early on as they go up by 2. And just before the buzzer, they'd make it 3. Power play, nobody clears out. Alex Williamson out front. Koberger shell-shocked, down 3. Second frame, they get one back. Nice solo effort by Daniel McKittrick, but Aaron Taylor really should have had that one. The lead is cut to 3-1, but Stovall regains the 3-goal cushion. Jack Varga, way too many cracks at it out front here. Finally, he knocks it in, and it's 4-1 Spirit. But how many of these have we seen Brennan Roy score this year? I've lost count. The cannon of a shot from the point, and it's 4-2 for the Spirit. Third period, Stovall puts this baby to bed. Andrew Hughes roofs it glove side on Matt Mena. Gorgeous, big win for the Spirit. Stovall playing much better recently. And those 2 points are going to be essential down the stretch as they play patty cake with Markham for first place in the North Division. And you know that battle is going to last all year long. Okay, Wellington and Toronto. The Dukes laying the body in the first. Keegan Ferguson destroying Steve Minuccios. Pat Straw first blood in the second. Look at the pass from Eric Aramita to Dante Spagnuolo. Check it again. The no-look backhander beauty to Dante. Sweet feed. Duke's keeper caught completely by surprise, but Wellington would get it back. Braden Storts wires it past Cam Gray, who's still looking for it. There was some mustard on that shot. 1-1. Third period, Pats get the winner. Lee Lapid charges through the crease like a bull in a china shop. Now, the Dukes were incensed. They thought it should have been goalie interference, but no luck there. 2-1 Toronto, the final. So the Patriots looking to find a little consistency. They seem to win one, then lose one, as their 500 record indicates, but they've had success against some of the OJ's big boys so far this year. Update from the World Junior A Challenge in Bonnyville, Alberta. Canada won its first game 4-1 over the Czech Republic and then dropped a 3-1 decision on December 13th to the always tough Americans. Head to hockeycanada.ca for all the updates. OJ commitments from the last week. There was one of them, Nick Mucci, who's on that Canada East squad from the Wellington Dukes. Great year so far, 50 points in 29 games, and he commits to the Niagara Purple Eagles of the NCAA for 2017-18. OJ trivia for this week. What NCAA school has Oakville Blades forward Bryce Misley committed to? What school? If you watched the show last week, you'd know it. If you don't know the answer, head to ojhl.ca. First person to email Rick Morocco, that's rmorocco at the ojhl.ca, wins the prize pack. Welcome back. Well, admittedly, it could have been a slightly awkward situation when Thomas Milne was hired as the Newmarket Hurricanes head coach this season. Now, he inherited team captain Todd Winder, the very player Milne traded from the Aurora Tigers 2 years before when he'd been the head coach there. And we'll get to that story in just a moment. The truth is, though, Milne couldn't be happier to have Winder as his go-to guy with the Hurricanes. The high-flying forward is a born leader on and off the ice, and we find out more about him now as we go in-depth with Todd Winder. By any standard, Todd Winder was having a great year with the Aurora Tigers last season, averaging just over a point per game. He was producing, but then head coach Thomas Milne made the decision to trade Winder to York region rival Newmarket. Milne, now the Hurricanes head coach, explains that the deal had nothing to do with how Winder was playing.
Well, I'm sure when they announced me and I walked into the dressing room, Todd's eyes probably lit up a bit that, you know, I was the guy in Aurora that traded him. But it's not that I traded him because I didn't like him. I traded him because in the depth chart, he wasn't going to get the ice time he deserved. I had an ownership group there that, you know, there was different agendas. And so I moved Todd and another player to Newmarket where they could develop more. And when I got here, they picked him as captain, which is a great choice. He's a great leader. And if you watch him on the ice, he has probably one of the best skill sets in the whole league.
Winder is now the star player for Milne and the Hurricanes, a consummate leader, the team captain, a guy who sets an example with both his play on the ice and his conduct off it.
Well, if you watch him, he has deceptive speed. So he'll be skating at you and all of a sudden he'll kick into another gear. But he'll try stuff that people don't try with the puck on one-on-ones. He'll flick the puck by you and try to skate to it. I would like to see him shoot the puck a lot more, as I want all my players to do, but he's usually a pass-first type of guy, shoot-second type of guy.
Well, last year I was a bit more of a playmaker. I had a lot more assists, but yeah, I just try to chip in wherever I can. If I can score, I try to score. If someone's open, I'll try to make a good pass, and sometimes I pass too much, so I've been this year trying to shoot a little bit more. So obviously I got a few more goals, so it's been good. Well, I just try to bring obviously leadership qualities. I try to obviously respect everyone, but also let people know if what they're doing wrong. But I try to bring a hard work ethic, as well as obviously I try to bring my skills and my goal scoring prowess and my playmaking ability. So I just try to help the team wherever I can.
You know, he's one of the speed guys on the team, which we like to rely on. He's a great guy in the room too, so great captain on and off the ice. Speaks a lot, and I know a lot of the guys lead up to him. You know, off the ice, he's always leading the warm-ups, he's getting the team going, he's loud in the room, and then on the ice too, leading the warm-up. Whenever there's a good play, he's yelling on the bench, so he's always out there and letting the team know.
It's obviously a huge honor, and I'm very grateful that the coaches believed in me and believed I can lead this group, and that's what I've tried to do. I've just tried to help keep guys accountable, but also kind of be there and be able to be the guy that can talk to if someone needs to, and just try to lead by example. I'm not the most talkative guy, but I mean I speak when I need to, and try to get the guys going, and but also kind of be there if they're down.
Well, he brings a leadership that is a bit different. He's not a Mark Messier where, you know, he can get in kids' faces. He's very quiet. He leads by example. First on the ice at practice, last off the ice. He's not afraid to pick up pucks, and he's last off the bus, making sure the bus is clean.
Winder has set his sights on using his hockey skills to further his education as well.
He's a great kid. I think if you talk to Todd, his aspirations are to play D1, but he might go in and be a youth pastor in the coming years. So his demeanor is very good. He's patient, he's quiet, and the kids love him.
So obviously my dream is to play NCAA Division I hockey, and it'd be awesome to play. It's so much fun, so competitive, and obviously it's a great way to go to school. Obviously education is really important to me, but also hockey is as well. I would love to keep playing hockey, so that's my goal. And if not, then obviously Canadian schools are a great way to go as well. And so yeah, there's tons of plans, tons of options. So it's just kind of choosing the one that's best for me.
Okay, Markham was looking to keep a bit of cushion over Stovall at the top of the North as they faced Aurora. Tigers hit the score sheet first. James Thompson's point shot deflected home by Tyler Davis, 1-0. And they would add to it in the second frame. Anthony Pavaglio's point shot finds its way through. And an upset was brewing, 2-0 Tigers, but the Royals start to claw back. Lucas Candata pounds it past Jake Sabarin to get Markham on the board. Third frame, though, the Cats get the 2-goal cushion back. Brandon McKinnon on the breakaway beats Graham Schropp. Problem was there was still 18:34 to play, and Markham took full advantage. First, Russell Norrie cleaning up the garbage out front to cut the lead to 3-2. And then Douglas Carter hanging out front wires the rebound past Sabarin to complete the comeback and take us into overtime. Best chance of the extra frame. The bouncing puck comes right to Sam Hu, but just can't knock it home though, and this one would end up in a hard-fought 3-3 stalemate. A huge result for Aurora, who were battling with Pickering to stay out of the basement in the North, but a lost opportunity for Markham to pad its lead at the top of the division. Okay, a reminder, the first ever OJHL Combine is coming up this April, and there will be two different times for this, one in Oshawa and one in Oakville. It's a chance to showcase your talents to all 22 OJHL teams. Age ranges from 14 to 17. Head to ojhl.ca for all the information. Welcome back. Well, the Toronto Patriots have certainly turned a few heads this season. After missing the playoffs last year, the Pats have racked up wins over OJ Powers, Oakville, Wellington, Whitby, and Burlington so far. But it was a much different Cougar squad they faced off against last weekend. Burlington was riding a 13-game winning streak. So this was the biggest test Toronto had faced up to that point, and they certainly made a statement with their play last Friday. There's no doubt who had the momentum heading into this one, but the Pats came to play. 4:37 in. Eric Aramida showing perseverance as he takes on three Cougars out front and knocks it in to give Toronto the 1-0 lead. Second period now. Cam Gray had a monster game for Toronto. The Texas native makes the save, loses his helmet, but they make them tough in the Lone Star State, as you know, and he's unaffected by that. Andrew Petrucci, likewise, big game for the Pats, dines out on the juicy rebound, and B-Town's 13-game unbeaten streak has looked like it's very much in jeopardy. At that point, soon after, Pat's on the odd man rush, but Mario Cavallari stretches to make the massive stop on Brett Bannister. Scary moment late in the frame. Michael Bushi lays the dangerous hit on Jeff Joint. Petrucci has a few little words with him there, and Bushi gets the boot. Third period, Toronto pads its lead. It's a weird one. Cavallari can't corral the puck here, then gets bowled over by the Pats player. Petrucci puts it into the open cage, his second of the contest, to make it a 3-point bulge, and that would be more than enough as the Cougars would break the shutout late in the game, but the streak is over. What a streak, though. Unbeaten in 13 games, and the Pats prove once again that they can handle the big boys of the league.
With the improved play of the Orangeville Flyers as of late, the Toronto Junior Canadiens are starting to sweat just a bit. The JRCs have a slim 3-point lead over the Flyers in the battle for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Southwest. So 2 points would have provided a bit more cushion for them last weekend, but it was a tough task indeed as they traveled to Georgetown to take on the streaking Raiders.
And the Raiders had won 4 straight in convincing fashion heading into this one. Early on, though, it's Dalton Ewing coming up huge for the JRCs as he robs Jack Jacome from in close. But then soon after...
Kept in there by Pierce. Jacome will skate up and kick the puck. Over to Blasby. Goes Blasby and he shoots and he scores! He backhands it by Dalton Ewing. Keegan Blasby gets his first as a Raider, and it's 1-0 Georgetown.
Yeah, the big Blas has been a monster since the Raiders picked him up for North York. He kept terrorizing the JRCs in the second. Goes to the net. Dipsy doodle. Keegan gets his second of the game, and it's 2-0 for the Raiders. G-Town throwing around the body, too. Jordan Anderson just steamrolls Jason Pinio. And then moments later, it's Anderson stealing the puck, breakaway, one-on-one with Ewing, but the big keeper wins the battle. Nice save. Third frame, Blasby, really the player of the game for G-Town in this one. Here he sets the pace, dishes off, and then it's McDonald to Zach Dybowski who goes roof daddy. So smooth. 3-0 Raiders, and then the final nail in the coffin. Dan Burnell with the sweet little tip out front here, and Georgetown firing on all cylinders right now, to be sure. 4-0 your final. And that made it 5 in a row for G-Town since having their 19-game unbeaten streak snapped by Orangeville a few weeks back. And coupled with Burlington's loss, they now have a 10-point bulge at the top of the West Division. Okay, Lindsay trying to stay hot on the heels of Newmarket for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Northeast. 2-10 in against Aurora. Muskies on the power play. Cameron Robinson makes it 1-0. Just a minute and a half later, though, Luca Esposito to Eric Holland. Tigers knot the proceedings up at 1 apiece. The hit of the week, Dayton Kent, absolutely destroyed by Carmine Alberga. That might be the hit of the year so far. Still in the first, James Thompson, point shot, finds some daylight behind Sean Green. Cats up 2-1 at that point. But at the 9:36 mark, Cole Robbins smacks it home. 4 goals in the first period alone. It was 2-2. Second frame, the fish jump out to the lead. Ryan Smith steals, breakaway, and money as he beats LaChance. And it's 3-2 for Lindsay. Back and forth we go. Brandon McKinnon follows up the original shot, pokes it home, and it's 3-3. Then it's Louis Vlahakis with the sweet solo effort, feeds Eric Holland. Gorgeous setup and finish. And Cats on top 4-3. Just before the end of the period, Owen Barnett lowers the boom. That was a heck of a shot. And this is a heck of a game. 4-4 heading into the dressing room. Third frame, it falls apart for the Tigers. Brutal giveaway here. Cameron Lamport denied, but Cam Robinson, Johnny on the spot to finish it off. And finish off the Cats in the process. 5-4 your final. The fans definitely got their money's worth in this one. Everything but a win for the Tigers. Robinson with the deuce for the Muskies, including the game winner, as Lindsay stays hot on the heels of Newmarket, just 2 points behind in the north. Speaking of which, let's check out the standings. Trenton on top in the east, followed by Cobourg, Whitby, Kingston, and Wellington. Currently, those two teams tied in fourth place each. In the North Division, as mentioned, Markham with a lead over Stovall, followed by Newmarket, only 2 points ahead of Lindsay now. And then it's Aurora and Pickering. In the south, Oakville
in the lead, a slim one over St. Mike's, followed by North York, the Patriots, the JRCs, and the Mississauga Chargers. And in the West, Georgetown with a healthy lead over Burlington, followed by Buffalo, Orangeville, and Milton on the bottom with only 3 wins so far this year. Alumni update for this week. Jared Coro, who used to play with the Peterborough Stars, makes his NHL debut with the Red Wings. Congratulations to Jared. And 4 former OJ players were named to the U Sports All-Star team that will play against the Canadian World Junior team in 2 exhibition games. Brett Gibson, the head coach of the Queen's Golden Gales, Tim Campbell of the Lethbridge Pronghorns, Derek Shepard of the York Lions, and Holden Cook of the St. FX X-Men. Welcome back. Well, it's been a remarkable turnaround for the Burlington Cougars over the past couple of seasons. Now, just 2 years ago, the squad finished dead last in the West, and the playoffs were just a pipe dream. Well, last year, Coach Mark Juris and his team pulled a complete 180. Not only did they make the postseason, but they advanced all the way to the conference final before bowing out. Now, this year, the Cougars are surprising no one, firmly entrenched as one of the OJ's top teams, as we find out in this week's team report, brought to you by Muscle Milk. Muscle Milk. Get stronger every day. Coming off an incredibly difficult 11-win season 2 years ago, you weren't alone if you didn't think much of Burlington's chances at the start of last season. But head coach and GM Mark Juris assembled a squad of seasoned veterans and talented youngsters that was the surprise of the league. And they advanced all the way to the Southwest Conference Final before bowing out to the Georgetown Raiders.
I mean, it was great. You know, the kids really came together. We had like this year, we had a very good leadership group. You know, and anytime you get as far as we did, it's you got to call it a success.
The incredible turnaround earned Juris OJHL Coach of the Year honors, and it set the tone for this season. With an influx of talent, the squad already has a 13-game win streak to its credit and are entrenched as one of the top teams in the league.
For the most part, we've worked really well. We've stick to our systems. Trip pucks deep. We're a hard-working team, so when we get that, then our offense will take over and we'll start scoring goals and winning games. So,
well, you know what? It's been really encouraging. The guys, again, starting with our leadership. Chris Cobham's got the dressing room. You know, they're all buying in. We had a fantastic November, and you know the goal is to keep it going.
Playoff atmosphere. Okay, we've got to be ready. Pressure on their D. That's their weakness. We've got to get in there. F2, again, we get F1 in there. F2's got to be close. Okay, if we're not, F1 doesn't dictate a forecheck, we go into a 1-2-2.
Team captain Chris Cobham is the straw that stirs the Cougars, a multifaceted player that can do it all.
Incredible character. He's a great, obviously great friend, knowing him for 2 years. Big kid. I think if the team is ever down, we just listen to him when we're in doubt, and he always finds a way to bring the team back up. He's a great leader, and I've always put my trust into him.
He's really just kind of good at everything. You know, he's very aware defensively. He's good offensively. He sees the ice well, competes really hard. He's relentless on pucks, and you know, it rubs off on his teammates.
The Cougars had 3 players recently named to the NHL Central Scouting watch list for the 2017 draft: defenseman Joey Berkopek and forwards Josh Camilleri and Philip Lagunov.
He's a very complete player. He's a kid that's relentless on pucks, just loves the game. He can't get enough of it. He competes so hard. He's very great stick skills, puck protection, very aware defensively, and I think he's got a great role model with Chris Cobham, who he's played a lot with. We brought him from Milton with Chris. He's kind of a throw-in in the deal, and now he's on the NHL watch list and committed to a school, and his ceiling is real good as well. you know, there's a lot of interest in Cammy. His ceiling is through the roof. He's still learning the game, and he's getting better every day, and he's getting more committed to playing the right way. And when he does that, like I said, his ceiling's unreal.
Juris has been impressed with defenseman Matt Watson, who he snagged from the Cobourg Cougars in the offseason.
He's been a real pleasant surprise when we got him from Cobourg. He didn't crack their lineup for whatever reason. I said they have to have the best D in the league, because for me, he's been one of the best D in the league. He's so explosive. He has this move that he just beats people one-on-one. He's got a great shot. He's just a real good hockey player.
Watson, game changer. He has a bomb of a shot from the point. Uses it often. He's not ashamed of it at all.
Burlington is rolling right now, and they feel they have the talent and the depth to take the next step this season.
No, I think we're one of the top teams out there. You know, I've played in both divisions, and we've played some good teams on the other side, and either one-goal games or whatnot. We might have not won them, but you know, we're gonna be there at the end. We're gonna take it to teams. We're gonna make them work hard, and you know, we just won't quit. We're gonna try and win every game we can. So.
Okay, the top 5 plays from the last week brought to you by Jostens, the official championship ring provider to the OJHL. Goalies dominated this week, but this was a beautiful goal. Eric Aramita, no-look pass to Dante Spagnuolo, part of a huge Pats win over Wellington last weekend. Number 4, Pickering Spiros Koskanos with the grand larceny on former teammate Tiger McDonald. Number 3, Dalton Ewing of the JRCs absolutely robs G-Town's Jack Jacome from point-blank range. Number 2, Burlington's Mario Calaveri, pretty much a carbon copy of the Ewing save as he robs the Patriots Friday. And number 1, had to have it, Lindsay's Dayton Kent gets bulldozed by Aurora's Carmine Alberga. Shoulder to shoulder, old-time hockey, clean hit, and it's our OJ play of the week.
And that is going to wrap it up for this week. But just remember, to keep up to date on everything with the league, you can always head to ojhl.ca. On Twitter, you can find it at OJHLofficial. And, of course, on Facebook at facebook.com/OJHLofficial. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks, and we will see you next week.